Hey people, welcome to Sad Panda Presents. This is a podcast about music. We're going to discuss what we think about different albums that we're listening to. Right now we're going through the staff pick list on the consequenceofsound.net. We're also going to be talking about some of our favorite albums and those suggested by listeners. Fair warning, we may use coarse language or say offensive things. And so I am Andrew.
And I'm Shane.
So this week, we're going to be talking about Parliament's The Mothership Connection. But first, so a couple weeks ago, I had this really weird dream, and it was about John Travolta. Not somebody that has ever popped up in one of my dreams before. So it was odd, and it wasn't like young John Travolta. It was like today John Travolta. Just this old man. And this motherfucker, we were just like shooting the shit, and somehow it got brought up that, like, you remember a while back he was like sued or charged or something for sexual harassment, where he went to get a massage and tried to proposition the masseuse. So he asked me about that, and I'm just like, come on, man, like you don't have to do that. There's like, you know, you could hire a prostitute. You're fucking loaded. So that was just a weird conversation we had about John Travolta trying to get a hand job at a massage parlor.
The thing is, he's like a Scientologist. And so, like, he's like the, like, upper echelon of the Scientology world.
Yeah, he's giving those fucks a lot of money.
And so, like, they have, like, slaves that would, like, do that for him. Like, a rando, like, Asian massage parlor is, like, crazy. You know what I mean? Like,
no, I get you.
Sense. Like,
I totally get you. That's why I was all, like, confused when he asked me about, like, what do you think about all this? And I was just like, come on, man, like, you're better than this. You don't have to. And it was obviously not a place where they offered that kind of service. You could have looked something like that up or asked somebody or something, right? Like, I don't know. So that was
he's way too connected
to not be able to find a real rub and tug shop. Yeah, he's way too connected. I agree.
Especially if he's in a place with you. Like, he's on hard times. Like, well, he got ousted by the Scientology community. Like, if he's hanging out with you, it's rough times for John Travolta.
I mean, I feel like, you know, that's been John Travolta's, like, midlife and beyond anyway, has been kind of rough, right? But, you know, because he's in all these weird, shitty movies, and I'm sure he's still, like, loaded. But, yeah, if he's hanging out with me.
Like, he did, you know, Saturday Night Fever, and then he had, like, a long, like, 20-year pause until fucking Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
1986 John Travolta might have been with you in some shady ass fucking cabal. You know, like, but that's not here. I mean, yeah, but no, not day and time, because he's got, again, Bergamoff, like a bunch of them. like a bunch of them.
Yeah, so that was my weird dream conversation with John Travolta. It was just me being like disappointed that he would do something like that. Not that I'm like a huge John Travolta fan or anything. It's just a fucking weird. Like, I don't know what would have spurred that, because I didn't watch any movies with him in it lately or anything like that. So I don't know what would have even spurred it, but I don't know.
You know what's really strange was, when you text me about the John Travolta dream, I don't really dream. Like, I know, like, people dream every day and, like, we forget our dreams and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
But I rarely remember my dreams.
Yeah, I'm in that boat too.
The night before, I had a very vivid dream. I don't know what happened, but I remember it was like me and my mom, my stepdad, all my brothers, and like all of our kids were all like to sign in to a hotel. Like, we're booking our hotel, like we're registering for our hotel. So we're all getting our keys and all that kind of stuff. In the middle of being in line, George Michael's Faith comes on. Faith. And in the middle of us, like, checking into our rooms, everybody just starts dancing.
Yeah.
So it's like a flash mob, but like nobody knows why. Like, it wasn't like planned or anything like that. And
just inspired by George Michael's.
So I gotta think twice. So George Michael comes on and everybody freaks the fuck out. And it's me, like, everybody around me is dancing and I'm not. and like heavy me by the fucking shoulders and starts like grabs me by the neck and like, you're coming with me. And like she starts like grinding on me and stuff like that to George Michael's Faith.
Well, there you go.
It that dream impressed upon me so hard that up I had to go play the song. Cause it was just like the chorus. Like listen to the whole song. Like I was like, this song's not gonna leave my brain unless I listen to the whole fucking thing. Sorry, like
Oh man,
it was just the faith part.
That's awesome.
The whole goddamn thing. It really wasn't. It was tragic and sad. Anyway,
okay.
So we had a moment.
Yeah,
our listeners will.
Yeah, I don't remember a lot of my dreams either. But sometimes you just have, like you said, just sometimes it's just this really weird, vivid dream that just like sticks out. So that was that.
So there that is. Anyway, moving on. Weird Freudian bullshit. How was your week, bub? How'd you do?
Things are going all right. Work is fine, if not frustrating sometimes, but that's work. Got some shit done in the, workshop, so that's good. Been making good progress on a couple of guitars. Did a bunch of stuff today. Working on a cabinet for Kirsten that is going all right. It's not the prettiest thing I've ever built, but it's going to get built. Let's see. And that's pretty much my week. So yeah, now I'm just having a beer with you and liking that because it's been a while.
It's been a while. Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah, but
yeah,
so I listened to this album a lot a couple weeks ago. And then I listened to it twice today, and that's where I'm at with it. It's not bad. What about you? How's your week been?
Oh, lazy. We sold the restaurant, so I've been out of a job for 2.5 weeks. It's been nice. My fucking eyes out, 'cause it sucks. And it makes me think like, I don't think I'll ever be able to retire, but if I could, I don't think I could do it. This is some bullshit. Like sitting around not doing shit is annoying as fuck. It's really fucking annoying.
Yeah, man, you gotta have a hobby. That's why I build.
Jesus.
That's why I build guitars and shit, man.
I did beat a bunch of games. I finished Twilight Princess.
Nice.
Finished Chrono Trigger.
Nice.
I finished. Not in like the good way, but I got through it for the first time ever. I went through Mario RPG.
Shit, man. Something
else. Resident Evil 4.
Oh, right on.
So, I need a fucking job. I'm fucking clawing my eyes out. It's crazy. I cut down 3 trees. Stupid shit. I remodeled my back apartment. I'm productive in the most asshole way.
Well, that'll fucking happen, man.
I'm ready to get back to doing something.
Yeah, for sure.
For a purpose.
Well.
Anyway, so that's all that. Okay. So let's talk about Parliament Connection.
Yeah. So what did you think about this album? Oh, ha. Well, I was cool with it. It was a interesting album. It was short. A couple of the songs kind of melding into each other for me, but I'm pretty sure I've heard "Give Up the Funk" before listening to this before. I think that's the only song I've heard before listening to this album. So overall, yeah, it was an alright album. I did okay with it. I was singing along, cooking breakfast and shit a couple of times. What about you?
Sure. I think you're correct on that. The "Give Up the Funk" is their most popular song.
Yeah, hands down.
It's a very funky album, and before I get into the album, there's a lot of things that made me think of before I knew about Parliament. I listened to them like beforehand and stuff like that, like about them. What makes me think about Parliament is there was a time when I was a impressionable child working in restaurants. We used to smoke Parliament cigarettes.
Okay. Yeah, go on.
They had what they called recessed filters. The filter goes actual, like like there's a little like plastic coating that goes past the filter.
Mm-hmm.
Enough to do like a bump of cocaine.
Right.
So we used to call them P-Funks because it was Parliament. And I didn't realize people older than me used to call them P-Funks. And I didn't understand the
Right.
now. So P-Funk, Parliament, P-Funk, and the Funkadelic.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
it gets you high.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Also, when I was listening to this album, it made me think of one other person, an artist called Jamiroquai.
Okay. Yeah. He's funky.
Jamiroquai really got drew a lot of inspiration from this band.
Yeah, I can totally see that.
Not only is it funky, but it's like that cosmic psychedelic. Like it's out in the moon, the stars, and between the two of them, they always talk about the cosmic world and the interstellar and all that kind of shit.
Right.
I think Jamiroquai really drew mostly on this album.
I could see that. I'm not familiar with any of Parliament's other work, but yeah, I could totally see that because I'm not. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm also not hugely familiar with Jamiroquai. I'm familiar with some of his stuff, but not like a lot. But from what I have heard, I could totally see him pulling a lot of inspiration from this album.
He does have an album called The Return of the Space Cowboy.
Oh, okay.
Which I think is drawn on, I think a lot of his work is just drawn on this album. Last thing that I want to hit on before we get into it is, like 2012, Adult Swim had a special for spring break about, it was a musical. And it was called Freaknik the Musical.
Yeah, Freaknik. I remember that. Okay.
Freaknik. And at the very end of Freaknik, I think it was like Mecca, Mecca Reverend Reverend Al Sharpton.
Yeah, something like that.
with like the love bomb or whatever. Mm-hmm. Anyway, and at the end of it, the mothership from this album, like the mothership comes down, George Clinton, Bootsy Collins, and a third I can't remember, but they want to pick up Freaknik to go into the space, like to spread love in the Freakniky way.
Right. I forgot about that. Oh man, it's been a long time since I've seen that.
And the thing is, the producer of this album was George Clinton. It was heavily written by Bootsy Collins and Bernie Wornell.
There you go. There you fucking go.
So T-Pain is now, I feel like T-Pain is now like the new in the mothership now because of Freaknik, right? Like.
Right. Oh man, that's fun. I didn't know that, but that's fucking fun.
Anyway, those are the three things I'm going to hit before we get into the actual album. So with all that bullshit being said, do you have any information about this album?
I don't.
No? Okay, cool. Cool, cause I do.
No. You know me, I don't take notes.
So this, Parliament and the Mothership Connection was released on December 15th, 1975. This is 11 years on the day. It's my birthday. Okay, I'm super excited. Hence that I get the funk more than you. I'm sorry, Andrew,
I mean,
it's a birthday thing.
It's in your fucking blood, man.
No, it really is. And also, in 2011, the Library of Congress, National Recording Registry put this album in their banks because it had heavy influence into jazz, rock, and dance.
Well, alrighty then.
Produced by George Carlin, written by Bootsy Collins and George Carlin and Bernie Wornell.
George Clinton, not
Clinton.
Not George Carlin, the famous comedian.
Oh.
Sorry, I just thought that was really fucking funny. George Carlin produced this album? Wait, what?
Well,
wouldn't that be something? Sorry.
And song number 2, the things you can't say on television.
Right.
This words you can't say on television.
What you can't say if you want to get on the radio.
Let me ride. Okay, so you want to get started on this the album itself. Oh, actually, let's go through the top 2 songs we agreed on.
Okay, yeah, because there's only 7 on this album, so
there's only 7. You get 2.
So my top 2 are gonna have to be Give Up the Funk, because I had heard that before hearing this album, so it was immediately familiar to me. So that lended itself to that. And then Handcuffs. Handcuffs is my favorite album on this, or my favorite song on this album, for sure, like by a lot.
I've got to go with Unfunky UFO.
Good song.
And I've got to go with good night. My notes. And the most tongue-tying album.
Super Groovalistic Profunkstication.
That's the one. That's the one. Yep.
I apologize for saying it as completely white as I did, but that's the only way I can actually get through the whole word.
Yeah, no, that's totally fine because I have notes on.
You all right there?
My microphone at the ground on accident.
That'll happen.
I do have notes on the whiteness and stuff like that you mentioned just now. Anyway, you want to start off this album?
Sure. This one comes in with P-Funk, or Wants to Get Funked Up, right? And this is like them taking over your radio. So he comes in with his introduction, "Good evening. Do not attempt to adjust your radio. There's nothing wrong. We've taken control to bring you this special show and turn it to you as soon as you are grooving." You know, so they present this, at least the first song, as if they're, these radio presenters from space, which I thought was a really fun way to come into an album. And I really, really enjoyed this particular song, introduction, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Andrew?
Yeah, you there?
You there? Okay, yeah. You there?
Yeah, I guess we cut out.
Anyway, so yeah, you made a really good, okay. So it starts off really well, and then does what?
Huh? I don't understand the question. Yeah, I don't understand the question.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It starts off really well and then does what? Oh, he just jumps straight into the funky, like they give their whole introduction and then, they start in with, it's an introduction of, a couple of paragraphs and then they start in with the actual song, the "Make my funk the P-Funk, I want my funk on cut," all that kind of stuff. So, it's a fun way to get into this funky album, and I think they do a pretty good job of introducing it this way. I enjoyed the way they opened this album up, and this song in particular too.
Sure, like it starts off with a light mood starting off, and like the smooth
radio announcer
to open it up,
right?
In about 25 seconds, boom! Make my funk the P-Funk. At 45 seconds, it drops that hook, funk the P-Funk. There's a in the second verse, there's something that keeps going. There's like a theme in this song that goes throughout the entire song. It's the idea of the healing power of music.
Yeah, because they introduced the Lollipop Man also.
And it says, "Rheumatoid arthritis," or whatever, on your speaker, and let the grooves move through you and it will heal you.
Yeah, okay. So, cause the funk not only moves, it can remove, dig? Right? That was a great fucking line. And that verse reminded me of a couple of things. You're probably thinking the same thing, but, the Howard Stern movie, did it make you think of that at all?
Never saw it, my dude.
Oh, okay. Well, in the Howard Stern movie, it's called Private Parts. It's basically like a Howard Stern biography up to, the current point in his life, to when they made that movie. And one of the things he does on his radio show that gets, a lot of attention and basically gets him fired, I think, if I remember correctly, I could be wrong, but, he has a caller call in, and it's a woman, and she's like obsessed with Howard Stern and like wants him to like fuck her or whatever, but he's, married and shit. He's like, "Okay, well, do you have these what kind of radio you listening to? And he tells her to put her subwoofer on the floor, and she sits on it, and he makes these like sounds into the mic, like deep into the microphone, and gives her an orgasm that way with the speaker vibrating on her pussy. And so whenever they were like, whatever part of your body it is, lay it on your radio, let the vibes flow through you. All I could think of was just this woman just sitting on this bass subwoofer getting off to Howard Stern.
It's going or some stupid
Yeah,
shit.
dude, it was pretty funny. So that's what that made me think of immediately. Anyway,
yeah. So like the healing power music or orgasmic power music is a thing.
Sometimes you need a little sexual healing.
That's true. But it's kind of plotted throughout the entire album.
For sure.
And then they say there's a line in the middle of the second verse. I don't want it cut. Forget the same song 3 on it. That was kind of a term that they used to where you cut 3 times. Like, I don't want my stuff cut 3 on it. 3. When they cut 3, like the song's cut 3 times longer to make it sound like a longer song.
Oh, okay.
And then they call it the Doobie Brothers.
Well, oh no, I mean the Doobie Brothers are a real band.
No, they're calling them out.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Oh, can you imagine a doobie in your funk? Oh,
in your funk? Yeah.
They say the Doobie Brothers, Blue Magic, and David Bowie, right? So
yeah, and I feel like they were calling them out. Like they try to do funk, but they don't know what funk is.
Right. Okay, right. All right, I get what you're saying now.
And then there are 2 different horn solos in this song between verse 2. They're 2 different that are amazingly good songs. Good solos. They really did a good job, like the horns and stuff. And then they say, I don't want my funk stepped on.
Yeah.
Definitely a drug reference. Like, I want my shit uncut.
Right.
Make my funk the P-funk. I don't want my funk stepped on.
Right.
No, I want it pure. Like, yeah. This is I believe this is the longest song on the album. Though this song and there's another one that I feel like this isn't like really scripted. Jam song, if you will.
I feel what you're saying. I don't know. I honestly have no fucking idea. This could be totally improv, but I don't know.
It was like George Clinton went, hey, I go with it. And they did that, but it's not really, it doesn't feel like structured at all.
Well,
the guy's talking about his sunglasses and,
well, I mean,
he's just kind of riffing, like,
you got to wear your sunglasses.
You look cool. But I feel like it's not exactly a structured song, but it's kind of like a jam song. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it definitely, it does have that jam band vibe to it, as far as that's concerned. I don't know if it was written out and scripted or not. I wouldn't know how to tell, but you'd have to ask the guys themselves, but it does have that jam band vibe to it because it is really long and they do different things with the main hook in a couple of different spots. So yeah, I get what you're putting down.
It's damn near an 8-minute song, and they say like 5 lines.
Yeah,
there's no fucking way. This is not a jam song.
Yeah,
the dude just talking out his ass the whole time.
Yeah. There's an introduction, a couple of verses, and then just that same hook over and over again. So anyway.
All right, moving on to Mothership Connection.
Yeah, we
get introduced to Star Child.
Yes, sir.
George Clinton's persona, and it starts out with a good at about the 2:17 mark with like a synth beat, and then that Sweet Charity, Sweet Charity, come on and let me ride, and it has this weird like cosmic psychedelic feel to it coming through.
Yeah, I feel you.
And
sorry, I just spaced the fuck out. Yeah, this is an interesting song. It wasn't my favorite. It's not bad. Like, I don't mind this persona, but, you know, it doesn't do a whole lot for me. The first song I like considerably better.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of this song either.
But it does introduce you to another personality of the band. So that's, you know, at least there's that. You're like getting to know different sides of different people and stuff. Or at least that's how they're putting it off. But I feel like they would want to put their personalities into it, right?
Sure, and it does get more into like the psychedelic cosmic going for, like the Mothership, like, if that makes sense, like.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he is Star Child, right? So yeah, I can totally see where they're going with that.
Yeah. And so at again, at like 2:17, it does that sweet swing low, sweet cherry, come on and let me ride. Sweet lines in this song. 2 sweet lines.
Okay.
So good it's good to me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So good it's good to me.
Right.
And also, put a glide in your stride and a dip in your hip. Those are amazingly good lines. It does say in, I believe in the album Dead Ringer by RJD2.
Okay.
That glide in the stride and dip in your hip. I want to say in one of the songs in that album. So it kind of sounds the same throughout, outside that 2-minute change.
Right.
And then about a minute and a half outside of the end of the song, it switches back to that synth and then swing low, sweet chariot, come on and let me ride.
Yeah, for sure.
It goes all over the place and does what it does, but then it comes back to that, like I said, at that 2-minute mark, and then again at that 6-minute mark, it comes back. That it calls it back. And then moves on to that Unfunky UFO.
Yeah, this is a good song.
Which is the next song.
Yeah. All right, so Unfunky UFO.
What do you think?
This is a good song. It's one of those that it's definitely got that kind of funk to it. That kind of this is definitively Parliament. You know, I don't know. It's got a good hook with the chorus or whatever you want to call it. I like that.
Sure. What I like about this song is the opening line. You've got all that's really needed to save a dying world from this funkless hell.
Right.
I feel like that calls back to, you know, being saved through music.
Yeah. You got something there.
And that bass and synth to start is amazingly good.
Yeah, this does have just comes right in with just like really heavy funky bass line. So that was one of the things that's really driving about this song.
Sure. And it's like the 20-second mark when he's stupid me, like it grabs you by the fucking ganas. Like,
yeah.
Damn, whoa, hey, we're starting this song. Cause like the first part of that song is real quiet and like, ta-da! It's kind of like ethereal, sing-songy kind of thing in the first 20 seconds, and then stupid me, like, oh shit, grabs you with the balls. If you got ovaries, it grabs you by the ovaries. I feel like this is like the first really structured song of the album.
Okay, I can see that.
You know what I mean? Like, it felt like they actually wrote down lyrics and words and piece.
And straight up compose something.
Exactly. That's for me at least. This is the first song that felt like it was written.
Right on. I mean, I understand why it's one of your favorites for sure. It's definitely a statement, but it's also this is the flavor of our funk. Here you go. Like, this is who we are. So they do a good job of showing like what this band is kind of about.
Sure, and I felt like they were fucking around the first couple of songs. And now that they actually sat down, you know, and they're fucking around. And there's nothing wrong with, you know, fucking around as a band.
Right. But you know, you need songs to put on the fucking radio, and those first 2 songs aren't going to be it.
Exactly. I need some backbone.
Right.
Not just some ethereal nonsense. Yeah,
right.
Give me something with substance. And this is the first one that, like, I felt like it sunk its teeth into me.
Okay, yeah.
Songs like, I'd be out in the backyard picking weeds or whatever, and they all kind of blended together. But then that stupid me, like, it woke me up and like, oh shit.
Right, for sure.
Anyway. So yeah, it's a good one. Number 5.
Okay.
So shit.
Let's see.
Super groovalistic, prosophistic, funstific. Oh, good lord. Yeah, no, I knew I'd
let's
fuck
see.
it up.
Okay. All right. Super groovalistic super groovalistic prosophistication. Fuck me.
Nailed it. Got it.
Like, this was a straight up just like funk jam. I mean, I don't remember the words from this song. Unfunky UFO, I could, I could call back the kind of a little bit of the lyrical content, and I'm not the lyrics guy anyway, but this song was all just a funky groove, and that's just kind of where I went with it. Anyway.
Sure. It was very synth heavy and it was kind of slowed down. It is a jam song.
Yeah. Like, I don't know what this song's about because I don't think I heard a single word.
There was a thing I want to bring up, and I don't mean to take a hard turn, bub. This is going to get a little more cerebral than you might like.
Okay.
There's a woman named Keisha Morant.
Okay.
Called Language in Action, Funk Music as a Critical Voice of Post-Civil Rights Movement Counterculture.
Okay.
So she wrote this book. She had an argument about the use of language that's counter to the white standard, if that makes sense.
Can you give me an example?
Well, her thought is that language, outside of white language ideology, black culture sense. Like, so it's kind of, think of it like the locus of control. You gotta think, this album was released in 1975.
Right.
It was after the civil rights movement.
Yeah, for sure.
And there's a lot of nonsense going on in 1975, like from 68 to 75. There's a lot of nonsense going on. Mm-hmm. She's saying is that when movement or the counter, like the African American culture, when they make a language of their own, is garnished only to their culture.
Okay. That
gives them empowerment.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So that's why they use words like super groovalistic
prosophistication.
Like it's something that can speak to.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, you'd cut out a little bit, so I wasn't grooving on everything that you were saying, but now I feel like I get what you're saying. So this is kind of a, civil rights is going on, and this is kind of how they're giving themselves something that's their own that the white man can't take away from them.
Exactly. Right. That's exactly it. Yeah.
Okay. I see that.
They make up, words that like the shizzle for rizzle on Israel.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Like, that empowers the black community because people don't know. Like,
I feel you. Okay.
And they will never, you know what I mean? Like, it gives them control.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. That makes a lot of sense, and I can see this band, being totally heavily into that kind of thing and trying to influence like that kind of scene and be a part of that idea, I guess.
Well, that's the whole, from what I understand from George Clinton, was that he was so upset from the civil rights movement, cut to 10 years later, he wants to escape.
Right. Okay.
But that's why he wants to go outer cellar. He wants to go somewhere else where you are.
Okay.
Like, think of Star Wars or some shit like that, where it didn't matter what kind of, if you're a Wookiee, if you're a weirdo fucking.
Right. Okay.
And you're just accepted as a thing, as a person, as like a being.
Yeah, I get that.
And I felt like he was frustrated with culture and like the aggression toward like the animosity going on in America in 1975, right, that he would rather just leave the earth completely to find a new place accepted.
Okay. And so now he's the alien radio DJ out in outer space on the mothership.
And the only reason you're accepted is because of how you feel by the music. The music drives you.
Right. Okay.
So I think that's why this entire album is written.
Right on. I like
if
that.
that makes sense.
That does. That's certainly not why the next song was written.
No. No, that is not. Okay, well, there's my big pussy spiel. Alright, let's go on to, handcuffs. Wait, stop. Whoa, real quick.
Okay.
Nerdy Thursday.
What?
No, never mind.
Sorry, you cut out there.
It's fine. Alright, handcuffs.
Handcuffs. I like this song a lot.
I would have said this album earlier today. I knew this is going to be your favorite song.
Oh, you know it.
I knew this was going to be your favorite song.
It had to be.
I knew it.
Just everything about this just made me smile in my pants.
In his pants.
Don't get me wrong, it's creepy, but I mean, it's just, and they bring in the female counterpart. I'm not sure who the female voice is. Janet McLaughlin or Glenn Goins or something. I have a couple of names on the sidebar here, but, this one just, I mean, it cracked me up. And, it's all about just keeping your woman around. Like she's so good that, if I have to put my handcuffs on you, I'm gonna keep you. So, then there's the other verse that's if I have to keep you barefoot and pregnant to keep you in my world. Oh, fuck, man. Like, that shit was just, oh man, this is a fun song for me. I know it's creepy, but god damn it, it cracked me up.
Yeah, it's really rapey and awkward.
Well, but I don't know if it's so much rapey, but.
No, it's not rapey, but it's very misogynistic.
Oh yeah, but I mean, I don't know, I feel like it's definitely misogynistic, but at the same time, it's one of those things where it's like they do have the female voice in this, and it's not, it's not extremely powerful, but it's there. But I don't know.
Hey, remember that song Goliath? Goliath?
But it's just like
it's like that, but funky.
Kind of, but it's like if I find that I need some help, gonna put on my chastity belt. It's just funny, man. Like, I don't know. This song has a bunch of lines that are golden, and it cracked me the fuck up. So,
there are good lines, but it is definitely about an insecure and untrustworthy man. Like, a person who just is super insecure.
100%, yes. It also cracks me up because I own, fuzzy red handcuffs. So, I don't know.
So I saw a movie the other day. It was called Waitress.
Okay.
It was not good. Her husband was insecure and like possessive. And I feel like that was like, write this song?
Yeah, I could see that.
I don't know. Anyway, that movie sucks. Moving on. Moving on. On to Give Up the Funk.
Okay. Let's see. So Give Up the Funk it's gotta be like this song's, or this band's like most well-known song.
For sure.
And it's just, I mean, it's understandable why this got popular. It's really, catchy. I don't know how else to put it. I don't know really what else to say about it. Like, I really like this song because it's familiar to me, and it's really catchy, but there's not a whole lot of content in this song. We gotta have funk. Like, fucking, this is like, get out on the fucking dance floor and shake your ass and let's give up the funk. Like, we gotta have that funk. And I feel like that's basically the message here. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but it didn't seem like there was a whole lot going on outside of just like, we like funk, get your funk on, get your groove on, give us the funk.
It does that. But to quote, to quote, Kesha Morant again, she thinks that, the Give Up the Funk, in her book, here is that she thinks that funk music emerged out of a desire for a more confrontational protest to the music industry. Call to action for the black community to have their voice heard. Saying, give up the funk. We want the funk.
Okay.
Because in 1975, there's not a lot of funk going on.
Okay.
Ending, like, we want our voices heard.
Okay.
So that's kind of what, like, I feel like that's why this song was written. I get it's reductive, but it's repetitive, and it's chanting a thing that say, hey, we want our voices heard. We want the funk. Give us the funk.
All right. I feel you.
White dudes in music industry, hey, culture out here that you're missing.
Right.
We want our voices heard. We want our shit on the radio.
Yeah. Okay.
I think this is kind of like a protest song, if that makes sense.
No, I think I understand what you're saying here. It totally makes sense given that this would be that this would be angled that way, given the time frame and given, what's going on with the world at the time, or the United States anyway. So yeah, I get what you're putting down. But in today's society, or listening to this today, when, that's not as much of an issue, I'm not going to say it's not an issue at all, because it is, and it always will be, but, unfortunately, but, in today's society, I don't feel like this has that same kind of call to action effect as it would have in 75, or am I just off base there?
I think, as far as the music industry goes, you're right. That's what made me think about this song. Like,
Okay.
Call to action. Like, when I was reading about this, this woman who wrote about, the, excuse me. So sorry. About how, it was a call to protest.
Mm-hmm.
Protest. It made me think, like, I didn't realize racism was still a thing as a 20-year-old. Like 10 years ago, I didn't know racism was still a thing. Today, I'm like, holy shit, racism still is a thing.
Yeah, it's kind of everywhere too.
I didn't know. Like, I feel like now with, everybody has a goddamn camera on them.
Yeah.
See what's going on in the world. Like, it's crazy. Like, at 1975, these people are calling to action for the affirmed.
Right.
And in 18 right now, and like, racism is still a thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's unfortunate.
40 years later, like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't mean to turn this into like a special episode, whatever the fuck, but damn, dog, like, that's still a thing?
Yeah, man. I mean, here's the thing. Like, I don't mean to sound insensitive or anything like that. And I certainly understand that, me being a white dude puts a lot of privilege on my shoulders. But, at least in the country we're living in. But yeah, like, you're still gonna see racism. I don't know that in our lifetime, we're ever going to see police targeting minorities less than they target white people. Like, that's the thing, and it sucks. It truly sucks, and it's a thing in other parts of the world too. Like, there's certain Latin American countries that do not like other Latin American countries. There's certain Asian countries that do not like other Asian countries, that think they're better than the other ones and stuff like that. So it totally extends beyond just the United States. But since that's what we're talking about, is that, yeah, it's totally unfortunate that you still see it in today's day and age. On the other side of the coin, at least it's not still the 50s, like, at least nowadays, if you're a person of color, you can go to college at all, and hell, even, very likely get grants and scholarships because of it. And
we can drink from the same water fountain.
Right. Yeah. But you can get the same job that I can get. You can go to the same interviews, and at least we've made some progress. I don't think it's ever going to be killed off completely. As long as there are people that come from different parts of the world, or look differently, or act differently, there's always going to be somebody to hate that difference. You know what I'm saying? Because people are assholes. And that,
what I really think is, like, it's gonna take like 30 years to when, like, cause we're both in our, like, when we, in 30 years, when we are in our 60s, and like our children will coming into power and all that kind of stuff. And I hope we taught them well.
Yeah, but and we will. I mean, I'm not going to have kids, but people. That's the thing, is that, people like you and I will teach the next generation well. We teach them to not be assholes, but there's people out there that are raising their kids just like they are, and that's not going to stop. And it's unfortunate. I'm not saying there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, be proactive and speak up when you see hate in the world and fucking stand up to the little guy. I get that. I'm just saying that I don't know. I'm just saying that as long as there are people that are different than other people, someone in one or the other or both groups is going to hate the other group. And I don't think that's going to go away ever. As sad as that is, I just think that's just people,
Yeah, you're right. I mean, you're not wrong, but damn, I hope for the best.
I do too. I'm not saying I don't have hope. I'm just saying I don't think people are capable of as a society not having problems.
It is.
Anyway, let's
Anyway, we're talking about albums.
We're talking about music. Let's get a little let's get back on music and talk about the last song on the album.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Night of the Thumpasaurus Peoples. Let's talk about that. What did you think about this?
All right, it's good. I like it. The bass and the horn are heavy.
Yeah, this is like this isn't really a lyrical song, like, at all. Like, the last song was very repetitive, but this is just like, there's not really. Am I wrong about that, or did I just not ever hear this song?
There are literally 2 lines. I am up, we are high.
Yeah. So.
Coochie gaga, coochie gaga, gaga.
Okay, yeah.
Those are all the words.
Right. So, like, this is as close to an instrumental as they get, and man, it's just a funky jam, and that's it's kind of what it is. I don't know if there's like a statement behind this song or not, but with having no real words, I didn't hear it.
So 220, the synth breaks off. The synthesizer breaks off, and then at 252, the horns fucking break off. Outside of
I can't stop this feeling.
So that's the album.
God damn it. Yeah. Okay. So this album, civil rights statement or not, I thought was a good, just funk album. They fucking brought the heat, but I want to know, where would you rate this?
Would I rate it? As in what?
I don't know, like 1 through 10. Where,
It gets a solid 8.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
It's funky as fuck. And it definitely, it made a lot of things that I like Jamiroquai, like Beck, like
right.
They influenced a lot of good bands.
For sure.
I don't know, like, we wouldn't have Deborah.
Yeah.
Deborah!
Yeah. No, I think you're right on there. I think 8's exactly where it needs to be. Would you move this around in the list that we've had so far?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you cut out.
I would put it, I'd move it around. I'd move it, well, no. Oh, no. Where it's at right now, it's good. It's
okay.
12.
All right.
12.
I think I'm right there with you. There's been a couple of albums that I've probably enjoyed slightly better. I'm more of a Led Zeppelin guy, but that's not Zeppelin's best album by any stretch. And I really enjoyed the Beck album, but like you said, he's probably drawing influence from Parliament. So would I move it? I don't know. I think it's sitting in a good spot. So I think it's okay right where it's at. We also didn't talk about. I don't remember what number this is on the list. It's been a while since we've recorded. Let's see.
Which one?
This album. I don't know where it is on the list.
I think it's number 92.
I'm gonna look it up. Let's see.
Okay.
Consequences Sounds Top 100 Albums. This is number 93. So
93. Yeah. Son of a bitch.
That's all right. Yeah, I probably enjoyed, I probably personally liked listening to Zeppelin and Beck more than this, but at the same time, I understand why it's above those on the list. So I'm good with it. We have had another request.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, it was in a Facebook comment.
Oh, Apex Twin? Yes. You're gonna hate that shit. You're gonna hate that shit a bunch, and I can't wait to fucking listen to that shit.
Yeah, so
James?
I haven't listened to it yet, but it's the Aphex Twin album Richard D. James.
Richard D. James? Yes, I know.
And
I know. And you're gonna fucking hate it. You're gonna fucking hate it.
We'll see. I don't really know anything about Aphex Twin, but that was requested by Kyle Pertlebaugh. Hope I'm saying
Paul
your name
Pig.
right. What? No, Kyle.
And Paul Pig.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, we talked about it a bunch.
They were both very heavy in that comment section of that post. So,
yes.
So thanks for starting that conversation, guys. Like that's awesome. And we're going to do that album probably on our next break from the list, I'm guessing.
I would like to do a thing, if you don't mind, Andrew.
What's that?
I would like to do, Richard G. James, which is Kyle's suggestion, to, Drugs is a 2 CD, that's gonna be like 40 songs. Paul suggested Drugs, but what I would like to do is we could do Richard G. James live from Roxdale.
Okay.
Another Aphex Twin album.
Okay.
Next break we'll do Drugs and Rosendale.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I want to hit the Richard D. James album since that's what Kyle asked for.
Yeah, no, we're gonna do that first.
Okay.
And then on our second one, well, no, you know what? No, we'll do Richard D. James. Let's do Blood Brothers.
I mean, I'm down with whatever.
Okay.
Unless we get another request on until then. We could suck that
anyway,
in.
Fans, please say you want to listen to the Blood Brothers. Let's make this the month that Andrew hates.
I mean, I know you say I'm going to hate these albums. I don't know that I will. I'm not one to just outright hate most music, but then again, there are things. So, I don't know. And you know, we'll figure something out though. But we've got a few albums to get through. We got a couple more albums to get through before we take another break. So anyway, what's that?
Not words.
Oh,
words.
So let's see. Oh man, this is gonna be a short one. What?
Words. Let's take us home, Andrew.
Okay. Sorry, I still cutting out a little bit. So anyway, thanks for listening to Sad Panda Presents. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, and at sadpandapresents.com. We're also on Facebook, facebook.com/sadpandapresentspodcast. That's the best place to get a hold of us and suggest an album and have a conversation with us, like Paul Pig and Kyle Pertlebaugh have done, as well as Kyle and Ben, whose episodes you have already heard by now. So check us out, leave suggestions, leave us some reviews on iTunes and Stitcher, wherever you get your podcast. Put the word out there, share our posts or whatever. That would be a big help. Next time we are gonna be talking about album 92, which is a band called Pavement. The album is Slanted and Enchanted. So join us then.
I do that because, oh God.
I mean, okay, so you don't get to be a little whiny bitch about albums you're not gonna like and be like, I want to do this album because you're gonna hate it.
I can. It's our show. I can be an asshole and complain when I want to.
Well, you know.
That's what I get to do, asshole. Fuck.
I'm not familiar with Pavement at all. Like, I don't know if I've heard a Pavement song or not. So I'm definitely curious. The album art is interesting.
Get better as the years go by.
Okay, sure. I'm
not their forte.
Like I said, I'm not familiar with them at all. So it's definitely going to be interesting to check it out.
Sure.
All right.
Okay. All right. Thank you guys for listening. I really appreciate it. Again, if you want an album to be douchebags, talk about an album that you like, please stomp your feet, make your voice heard in some way or another. Anyway.
For sure. And we will do it. That's for sure.
We damn sure will. I can't wait for Apex Twin.
Okay.
Alright. Love you, bub. Thank you guys for listening. Better tomorrow.
See you next time.
Bye. Bye.